Okay, welcome to another edition of Unstoppable REI. And I've been trying to catch up with this guy for, I don't know, has it been years? It's been at least months. But here's what
Feels
I
like it's
learned
been a
about
couple
you. I told you I have a bone to pick, but here's what I learned. See, here's what I found about all the top real estate guys. This is the reason they might think he's too good for me. I don't know. Here's what he's so Remax Platinum Award 2021. Okay. Minneapolis St. Paul Magazine Super Agent 2021. So you okay? So see, the top guys always it's tough to get a hold of. I can't pin you guys down.
You know, I'm. There's so many different awards and labels in real estate you can put behind your name. It's
But super agent, man, come on, that's a big one.
I
Come
don't know,
on,
man. I kind of approach every day like I'm at the bottom of the pack, right?
All right.
I'm always hungry, and you know, it's just real estate is so cyclical.
Yeah, that's true.
And
I get that. But
not,
here's
not
what
to make an excuse, but like, you know, June, July, August.
Yeah.
Usually it's
those are the high months.
yeah, the highest productivity and
Okay.
you know, the most time I'm putting into it. So
Okay. All right.
but
I
it's
understand.
definitely going down now. So I'm glad we could finally connect.
Oh, totally. And you know what's so funny about that, though? I got to say this to Dan. That's what all the rich guys say. The rich, wealthy guys. That's how they talk. Oh, it's up and down, and so I got your number. I'm just letting you know that I got your number. But anyway, so we'll talk about that later. All right. So I'm gonna just jump right in. So tell me, man. Tell me your story. Your I don't know 30-second elevator pitch. Tell me
Yeah.
and tell me the deal. Where it
Yeah,
starts.
you know, I'll give you the 10-second pitch.
Yeah, let's do it.
You want me to you know, pick it apart more?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Certainly can. But so I'm a former airline pilot.
No way. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah, I used to fly airplanes, and you know, since I was like 13 years old, I took flight lessons, and then I got my license in high school, and
Okay.
I'm like, I'm going to be the super, you know, not a super agent. I'm going to be a super pilot, you know?
Really? Okay. Interesting.
Yep. And kind of pursued that
All
for
right.
many years. And ultimately kind of switched gears
Okay.
and got my real estate license for a couple different reasons. And then ended up buying some rental properties
Okay.
and really diving deep into that.
Okay.
So doing real estate as a realtor full-time, and then an investor kind of on the side.
Okay.
Kind of as a tangent to my realtor business, but
Sure.
yeah, and you know, over the course of the time, I had 3 kids, so father of 3 now.
Nice. How old are your kids?
It's a good question. What are they?
Okay.
9.
Okay.
You have 4. You have 4 kids.
I have 4 kids, but do not ask me their ages. I might be able to get through the ages, but definitely don't ask me their birthdays.
You get through their names if I ask you their names.
Barely.
Yeah. Well, 2 of my kids, their names start with the same letter, so I always.
Oh, well, there you go. That you made it easy for yourself.
Yeah, but
9.
We got a 9-year-old, a 7.5, and then a 3.5.
So they're all pretty little. Okay, so mine are all pretty old, man. Mine are so we got 2 girls, 2 boys. By the way, how many girls, how many boys?
I have oldest is a boy and then 2 girls.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
So mine are boy, girl. So my oldest son is 35. My next daughter is 28. Son that is oh boy. Son is I know, you got me. Son is 25. And then I have a daughter that's 20. So she's the last one that we last graduate. And that's what made my wife and I were sort of empty nesters now. And so now we're trying to decide, where we want to, what exotic location do we want to move to. And so I don't know, we'll see. So I'm collecting names. Anytime I talk to somebody in a warm climate, I'm trying to figure out if that's, maybe I'll put it on the list, except not Florida. Florida's cool except for the alligators, right?
You don't like alligators?
Are you kidding me? And they're everywhere. I asked the people, I thought it was just a sort of a, I don't know, stereotype. And they said they're like squirrels, man. They said alligators are like squirrels. And I don't know, it's crazy. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so enough about me. So your 3 kids. And so here's an interesting thing about you is I don't know if I should say most, a lot of real estate agents are not investors.
Yeah, you're right.
Would you say most? I don't know, that's a lot, right?
It's and think of how many realtors there are.
I know.
But you're right. Most real estate agents are not investors.
And why is that?
That's just because it's really sad when I think about it,
because it
because
connects so well. I mean, it's like,
yes,
why wouldn't you? You
as a
know,
real estate agent, you have a leg up
you got the
against.
keys to the kingdom.
You got the keys to the kingdom. All you got to
Yeah,
do is open the door and give it a shot.
yeah.
Um, I think people just get kind of complacent, and
Okay.
I think most realtors get into it not to buy rental proproperties or invest in
Yeah.
rental, but just to like as a career.
Well, sure,
Uh,
and you can make good money. I mean, I don't, I don't want to downplay that. I mean, because you can make a ton of money doing that.
you can make a ton of money, but at the same time, I think a lot of realtors focus on their network instead of focusing on their net worth.
But that's so many people though.
That's so many people.
I mean,
So
even me as so I was a real estate agent. You know, I was an agent, right? Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yes, I don't have a license now, but in 1990, just like I didn't know you were a pilot. In 1990, I got my real estate license, and I was a real estate agent. Then I was a broker. Then I became an investor mainly because I got tired of showing, because I have kind of a creative bent, and I'm looking to, and I studied all the no money down stuff, which some of there's a lot of it that's good, but just the idea of having alternative ways to put deals together, that was kind of my deal. So I studied that stuff, and I got tired of trying to convince people that they were great deals. So two things happened. I moved up market because I was talking to the guy with, say, well, back then, I don't know, maybe $200,000 house, and I'm telling him about doing a discounted note, selling it, and all this stuff. Yeah, I'm learning on Carlton Sheets, right? And and he's like, "You're crazy! Think I'm trying to scam him?" But then I go talk to the guy with the $5 million house. He's like, "Dude, where have you been?" Yeah, totally, yeah. Let's cash these out. Let's do this, Yeah. And but then I just decided to do it myself. I was like, I'm tired of telling those people. I just want to I'll buy the deal myself, and I became a buyer and seller instead of representing them. But anyway, yeah. So that was the deal. But so I always wondered why aren't they doing that? But yeah. But again, I'm talking too much about myself. So where did you? So what do you wish that you would have known when you started your career?
I wish I would have known that we were in the middle of a real estate fire sale. Okay. Because this was post the Great Recession. I mean, this was post 2008, like when I got.
Oh man.
I had my first property that I lived in.
Yeah.
I bought that in 2007, up here.
Okay.
And then the market went down. I was still flying airplanes at that time. The market went down, and I ended up buying a couple properties at the 2010, 11, 12. That's when I got my real estate license. But if I would have known looking back that where values what they were then compared to what they could be today,
it's crazy.
Because I never buy for appreciation. I buy for what it is at that moment. But I would have doubled down. So
when you say buy what it is for that moment, you're saying that it has to be a great deal at that time?
Yep, and not even a great deal. Like it's funny because I work with some clients that just want a screaming deal.
Yeah.
To the point where they'll let a deal fall apart, and not get it if it's not a deal. Okay. Couple $1,000, what is it? You're getting a loan, $10, $20 a month.
Yeah.
I like a fair deal, but I look at what are the numbers based on purchase price, rent, expenses, return.
Yeah.
So fair deal. That'll kind of meet my needs over time.
That's really smart though, man. That's really smart. Because like I said, most people I think are looking for the screaming deals.
Yeah, and it's
and they're not all screaming. They're not all screaming deals,
Right. And when I say deal, it's kind of like a deal is a closing, right? That's a
deal is a closing. It's an opportunity to make money. Yeah.
It's not necessarily getting a property for under market value.
That's a good point.
It's all my transactions have been fair deals, I would say. Okay. Sellers happy, buyers happy.
Yeah.
And the market does what it does,
But what's really interesting about that, though, Dan, is that even Robert Kiyosaki said that building wealth is boring. Mm-hmm. So in other words, it's just, you buy the property, you put a renter in it, whatever. You buy it, it's the step by step. It's not the boom, I made, $5 million at closing on this deal, And if those come along, that's great. But the smart guys, and I didn't learn this till later in life. I mean, they're doing exactly what you're talking about. Just a fair deal. It's like, hey, I make a few bucks on it, cool. And like you said you don't buy for appreciation though, right?
I don't buy for appreciation. I'm more concerned about like the loan terms themselves, what the interest rate is, what the rent is.
Okay.
Then more so than like the purchase price. But as long as the numbers work out,
you're good.
As long as the cash flow is, meets my criteria.
Yep.
I'm good.
You're good to go.
We'll close and
do the deal. So
know?
how many properties do you own?
So I have 24 properties, and they're single family or
wow.
They're
crazy. Townhome. Yeah, that's great, man. You're one of the fat cats. I knew that you were. I knew that you were.
It's all relative because
I know.
And you probably had people on the podcast that have thousands of units or
hundreds. Sure. Yeah. So it's all relative. It is.
It's all relative.
But I was just talking to somebody just today. They were saying that, like you said, people are looking for the 600 doors, 1,000 doors. But if you just buy one property a year for 10 years, he said you could be, you'll be wealthy.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So you don't need to have a gazillion doors. So it's just, it's just really understanding the game, I think. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So tell me, what would you say? And I know people have different variations on failure. That they, I don't fail, I fall forward and all that stuff. But what was your biggest failure, and what did you learn from it?
My biggest failure was back when I was a pilot. So not
fly commercially. Did you fly for commercial airlines?
I did, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. It was fun. Okay, I don't miss it. I don't miss the job part of that.
All right. But anyway, so you're flying as a pilot. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the flying is always fun.
Okay.
But once you open the cockpit door and you have people coming at you for this and that and going to hotels, and it wasn't too fun. But my biggest failure was, so I was a flight instructor as well.
Yeah.
And I had a flight student that was he wanted to renew his pilot's license. So every 2 years, you have to go fly with an instructor and do some takeoffs and landings and some maneuvers and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's like, Dan, can you give me my flight review so I can, get checked out for 2 years? And I said, yeah. And this was back when I was flying commercial. So I was flying like the regional jets.
Okay.
And he was flying little small airplanes, which I hadn't flown a small airplane in a while. But I'm like, yeah, what, let's go fly.
Yeah.
And I'd never flown the airplane that we were flying that day.
Okay.
But I was instructing him in it. Anyway, we were flying around and we did a maneuver called a simulated engine out, where I basically took the throttle, the gas pedal, I pulled it all the way back. I said, Tony, you just lost your engine. What are you gonna do?
Wow.
This is practicing. You lose an engine as a pilot.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna land? And just so you have it, we were right over an airport. So he's looking around, for a field to land at to practice. I said, oh, hey, how about that airport, right below us? So we turn and he lines up with the runway. We turn, the different traffic pattern turns that we have to do. And we're on final approach. So the runway is right here. And here's the airplane. We're coming down like this.
Yeah.
And I started to realize that, we're not going to make the runway. Because we don't have any power on the engine because I pulled the.
Yeah. Wow.
So at some point, we got to add power and get out of this. But he was a good pilot, and I figured there were some trees right here, and we basically just skimmed the trees. We're coming down, and he didn't give it power to get out of it. And I'm like, Tony, we should go around. But I said that too late. I didn't take action, and we ended up crashing. We crashed.
Wow. Wow.
We crashed short of the runway in the there was probably like 4 feet of snow.
Man.
And then we hit the ground. The airplane kind of tipped over on its back. And immediately I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose my pilot's license.
Okay.
I'm going to lose my airline career. I mean, what am I going to do now? And then nobody was hurt, but I didn't take action as the flight instructor to get out of that.
Okay.
I didn't take action. It was just too little, too late. But the FAA was coming. The airplane police FAA was coming after me to
really
and this and that. That was my biggest failure, was not taking action. But I did learn from that.
What did you learn? Just to take action.
Yeah, to take action. Oh, yeah. What I learned from that was was that you can't always control what happens to you, but
Yes.
you can control how you react to it.
Yes.
So all I could do after the fact was just control my mindset and what I'm gonna do going forward.
Yeah.
You know, how I'm gonna handle that. And yeah, it kind of got me into like self-help books and mindset.
Interesting.
Yeah, mindset and maybe, okay, what other career could I do if I can't keep flying? Long story short, it
Yeah.
wasn't an issue at all with my flying
Okay.
career. Wasn't an issue. But it got me kind of into real estate because I started to think about, okay, if I can't fly, what else am I going to do?
Okay. I got you
know?
thinking about other stuff. You know, it's
Yeah,
interesting.
so like,
yeah, go ahead.
so like, I don't know. I think failures happen for a reason. It kind of can
I agree.
force us to switch gears, you know?
I agree. My wife and I think we have the same. We have all these sayings. We kind of, you know, I mean, as entrepreneurs, you kind of have to keep yourself, you know, built up and going. So
Yes.
we say that everything happens for us and not to us.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? So it's a different, because everything is about mindset, man. Everything. In fact, the other day Are you a person that's always on your phone, or you're on the phone a lot on your phone, looking at your phone, scrolling and everything?
More than I'd like to be.
Okay, I do it, and I have just decided that I'm going to just admit that I'm always on my phone. I mean, and I'm just beep, boom, I'm right there. Somebody texts me, boom, I'm right back at you. But anyway, I was scrolling, I saw this picture of I look like Buddhist monks, and it said, you might have seen this. It said, don't try to calm the storm, calm yourself, because the storm is gonna pass. So it's like,
that's great.
Isn't it something? So it's like,
write that down.
I got another good quote for you just a second. So so the idea, because that's me, man. It's like all this stuff is going crazy around you. And it's like, it doesn't matter, because if you because like you said, you can't control what's coming at you. Okay. Yeah. Whether it's in an airplane or a real estate deal, doesn't matter. You can't control it. All you can do is control yourself, how you're going to respond to it. And you're in total control there. So it's like everything could be just falling apart on the outside, but you're good, and that's cool. Yeah. Yeah. You know, so here's another, which is just because we're on quotes, this doesn't really exactly apply to this. My favorite movie in the world is Rocky. Okay. And any shoot 'em up, beat up. I guess overcoming the odds really is kind of my thing. So anyway, so when it says this, it's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Sure.
Isn't that? And that's, you get busted up and you keep going. That's life. But,
absolutely. That's some powerful stuff right there.
So anyway, so I'm going on a tangent again. I go on these tangents every once in a while.
I could talk with you all day about like the Buddhist monk stuff.
What's up? What do you have some other quotes by them or some other stuff?
I love it. There's a book, the book that changed my mindset.
Yeah.
Was the most simple book you could read in like 2 evenings. It's 100 pages, I think. Yeah. It's called Zen and the Art of Happiness.
Really? Okay.
By the author is Chris Prentice.
Okay.
It's called Zen and the Art of Happiness, and he basically talks about that. Everything that happens to you. Everything that happens to you is the best possible thing that could happen to you.
Really?
And it's just so uplifting and enlightening.
I'm gonna read that. Are you a big reader? I mean, do you like to read?
You know what? I used to be.
Okay.
And then I use my kids as an excuse that I can't read anymore. You know what? But in a perfect world, I would read every morning. I'd read every day.
What about audiobooks? I mean, do you like audiobooks? Like,
I don't love audiobooks. I can't really digest them as well. So, but I love to read.
Yeah, I do too. And I go into spurts where I just like am devouring a bunch of good books. Usually when I'm trying to learn something or trying to, I don't know, I'm on a mission. So I'll just read or listen. And sometimes I'll listen to the audiobook and read at the same time, which is
really?
Yeah, because I like to hold the books. I like to be able to write a note, but I like to be able to move through it quicker. So listening to it allows me to kind of move quicker, but I still have the physical book there, so I kind of need both. But anyway,
that's great.
So, so we'll have to do an episode just about books and mindset, because mindset, man, it's everything, dude.
That's it. If you don't have mindset, if you don't have a foundation, if you don't have a solid mindset,
you're done.
You don't have anything.
You're done. What about The Secret? What about The Secret? Have you read that book?
Oh yeah, The Secret. I read that. Yeah, The Secret, and
it's crazy.
How about visualization? Have you ever done anything with that?
Yes, I have. And you know what? You have to, I mean, it seems really crazy, but there's plenty of times that I've had to write stuff out. Because to me, so in copywriting, when you're writing ads and stuff, when I was learning to copyright, there's a whole technique around writing out ads, that successful ads. So a successful ad, you write it out by hand, not type it, write it out by hand over and over again. There's a connection between the hand and the mind. And so the visualization thing was a pretty easy thing for me to get, because so I would, if I want to learn something, I write it out and then I say it out loud. And then if I do, here's something else that's just really crazy. I'm giving you my secret sauce here. I'll record myself saying it. So like my goals, I'll read them into a device, and then I listen to them while I'm sleeping.
Really?
Yes.
How do you listen to them while you're sleeping?
Well, you have to, it can be cumbersome a little bit, but I mean, I have whatever kind of iPods or something. Yeah.
AirPods. Yep.
AirPods. I'm sorry. Yeah. And, or whatever kind of, they actually make headphones that you can wear while you sleep. So they're really flat. Yeah. So here's what happens. So I'm listening to, and also I listen to books that way too.
While you're sleeping?
While I'm sleeping. Yeah.
Is there a timer where the book,
No, it'll just, I mean, it's like 8 hours or something, so it's a long time. I know it sounds crazy, but here's my point, the visualization part. It gets to the point where I'm dreaming about those things, and I'll see them, and I'll see myself doing that stuff. It's really weird, but so I'm saying it enough, I'm reading it enough, and I'm saying it enough that now it becomes something that I can see. So for me, visualization is not really like, okay, I'm going to visualize right now. I mean, that's not really, I can't really do that. Like meditate. I'm going to meditate. I'm over here meditating. That's not really my thing. But if I read it and say it out loud and write it out and listen to it while I'm sleeping, then I can see it. And then all of a sudden, it becomes a part of what my conversations in the day. So it's like, hey, you know what? I saw that someplace. You know what I mean? So, I really, some people don't believe in that kind of stuff, and it doesn't matter, because it's the kind of thing it's like goal setting. Some people say, well, I don't believe in goal setting. Well, you're either achieving your own goals or you're achieving somebody else's goals. I mean, but it's all, so it works regardless. So anyway, so I totally believe in that stuff, man.
That's great. Yeah. You're taking it to a whole other level when you listen to it while you sleep.
It is. You should try it. You should try that. It's a little bit weird. I mean, and here's what I try to do too, is I record my voice saying my goals, and I do it, obviously in the present tense, like I own, 15 bazillion real estate properties. I own, whatever it is. And man, it really helps. I'm telling you, it does.
Have you read any Jack Canfield books?
He's one of my favorite authors. The Success Principles.
Oh, I mean, if you can only read one book, rest of your life, read that book.
I know. And plus, it has all the books in the back that you ever read the back? There's a whole list of about, 100 different success books.
Yeah. I mean, that's
crazy. I love his stuff, man. And you know what I try to do? There's certain books that and that's why the audio books work really well, because I could, it's like having somebody read to you. So it's like I'm opening the book and I'm listening, but there's certain books that I read every year. I read the Success Principles. I read Think and Grow Rich. Have you ever read that book?
I have. Yep.
There's a modern version of it too.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, where now they're using people like Bill Gates and modern day Apple.
Really?
Yeah. So you should.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, check that out. And what else did I read? I also like Tony Robbins stuff. Do you like Tony Robbins?
I like Tony Robbins.
Yeah. I like all of his books, but So, but anyways, man. We're gonna obviously have to stop talking about that, because we could talk about that the whole time. I absolutely love talking about the books, and people don't like to read a lot, so I don't. People, when you do like to read, we just instantly vibe. We just instantly connect. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's unfortunate our society with the technology.
I know.
And the smarter technology gets, I think the dumber we get.
We do. And I tell you one other thing. You've heard of Brian Tracy, right? You read anything by him? Okay.
Yep.
So I first learned about Brian Tracy way back in the 90s. And what I learned about him at that time was he said to read an hour a day. If you read an hour a day, that'll equate to one book a week and 50
Yes.
books a year. Okay.
Yep.
And he said that 50 people are reading one book a year on average. The
Yeah.
average person reads one book a year. And if you read 50 books, man, you're way ahead of the game. And then if you read on one topic for 3 years, you'll be an expert.
Absolutely.
Read one topic for 5 years, you'll be an international expert.
Yep.
And so I read about creative real estate and I read about copywriting. So really human psychology and how to get people to buy anything that you're selling. That's what was kind of my thing. And there's actually another good book, Influence by Robert Cialdini. Have you read that?
I have read that. I have read it.
Yes. Yeah, awesome. But anyway, there's tons of awesome books, and
yeah.
But anyway, so I Robert Cialdini and then Brian Tracy. I don't know the point I was trying to make here because my mind is just racing. I don't get a chance to talk to. Whenever I talk to people like you, man, I'm like, man, in this book, and then what about this one, and these monks, and what about this? And,
yes, I could go on and on.
Oh, totally. So just tell me.
I used to have a podcast actually.
Really?
Yeah, it's no longer exists.
Okay.
But it was kind of around that principle. It was called The Power of Why. And
really? Okay. You just froze up.
3 or 4 episodes, but we talked about, like the why, because everybody talks about the how, how you going to buy properties and how we're going to get started real estate investing. Yeah. You got to start with the why.
Why is the most important, isn't it, man? In fact, I've often said this. I've heard it said that the person that knows how will always have a job, but the person who understands why will always be that person's boss.
Absolutely. Once you know why,
that's everything.
Figure out how.
That's everything, man. That's everything. Dude, you know what, man? We're at the end of my time. Okay, so you totally messed me up with all those books, dude.
Yeah.
This is like the funnest time that I've had in a long time, dude. We gotta do this again. Yeah, we gotta get it going. So, you're saying do it again? Want me to start over?
Oh no, yeah.
Okay. Well, no, my wife will. I'll be sleeping in the garage because we're supposed to go to dinner. And I was like, hey, I had back to back. I had 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 5 o'clock appointments today. Over these podcast interviews. I don't know if we have that many days. It was brutal today.
Wow.
But I love it. I love talking to people and stuff. But I'm just saying. But if I would have told my wife, honey, hey, I gotta, we're gonna go one more 30 minutes. She's like, okay, then you sleep on the couch. Here's where your bed is. And,
that's right.
So anyway, but listen, man, I appreciate your time. Let's do this again, though. Let's do it again. Because I got a bunch of questions. I didn't even ask you any questions, dude.
Do you have any other questions you want to ask or anything?
I got tons, but I mean, I got 30 minutes, and it's we're just about there. Let me see. Do we have? I think we.
I got time, so whatever you want to do.
I think that I'm what. So here's the thing with the what am I trying to say? Zoom. With Zoom, the free version. I just use the free version. It's 30 minutes, and at 30 minutes they cut it off. I'm trying to see how many minutes we have. I don't think we have any. I think we're getting pretty close to the time. So, but that's cool. But let's do this. Let's get again. I don't. Oh, I do. We have. Oh, I got 10 minutes. Okay, cool. All right. So let's do this. So tell me this. Tell me how you define the word unstoppable and what you're doing to make yourself unstoppable as a real estate investor.
Yeah, I think so unstoppable to me doesn't mean that I don't stop or that we don't stop.
Yeah.
I look at let's take a look at like Dalvin Cook, right? We got the Packers Vikings game coming up.
Yeah, there you go.
Sunday. And he gets the ball. Sometimes he makes a couple yards. He gets stopped short, but he stops quite a bit.
Yeah.
He's not unstoppable, but he is. Every time he gets the ball in his hand, his feet are always moving at the same speed.
Sure.
Whether he's running 2 yards or 20 yards. So to me, what that means is just persistent. I've been persistent. I think, with the fires that burn within, Absolutely. I've been persistent to keep them lit by taking time to reflect every now and then, but
sure.
Just I'm always moving. I'm always moving. Tony Robbins says, he says motion creates emotion.
I love that saying.
Yeah. So if you want to make something happen, you got to start moving.
You know what? It's interesting you mentioned that, man. I use that. So like if I am in a funk or emotional funk or I don't know, depressed about a deal that didn't work, whatever, what I do is I do push-ups.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Or jumping jacks because of what I learned from Tony. Sure. And you know what? There's no way in the world that you can do jumping jacks and stay upset.
Right.
Instantly change your emotion. You just do.
Yeah, you're right. You can't be angry and do that while you're doing jumping.
You can't. And that's why I love his stuff because it's so, it's like real and it works. It's like, hey, really, So all right. So unstoppable means you don't stop. You got to keep taking steps. Got to keep moving forward.
Yeah,
and that's what you do. That's how you.
Yeah. Got to be persistent. And I almost think it means you do stop. Like you do stop at times, to take a breath and reflect.
Sure.
But you keep going, right?
Right. I love that. So you just right. You never quit.
You never quit.
You never quit.
Unstoppable means you don't quit.
Yeah. I love that, man. Dan, man, we got a cash flow game we got to get. I reached out to, and I was saying, hey, we're going to do it. He was on vacation. I don't know if he's back now. Yeah. But he said that he's going to, he said, hey, anytime he's down. So we're going to have to just plan the time and just say, this is the time we're going to do it. And just tell him, and let's just pick a place. And let's just, I think we need to do that.
Yeah. I'll shoot him a note after we wrap up.
Let's do that. This has been phenomenal, man. We got to do it again. So we need to book another time, and I'm going to have all my questions, and there's going to be no jokes, no joking around. It's going to be strictly business, okay?
Yeah, this went pretty quick. It was too short.
It's too short. But I mean, but you know what? But I've been on times, dude, where it's like crickets. I'm talking to somebody that's like pulling teeth. I'm like, okay, all right, well, here's another question. How about this? I mean, but even the first time that we talked on the phone, we just instantly were cracking jokes, instantly connected. It was that way with Chad. And I still laugh about how I told you what his wife said about the podcast. He's like, what? Well, why does he want to interview you? Why does he? I was like, dude, that's terrible. So I got to meet his wife. I haven't even met her, but she sounds like a great person. But anyway, so yes, so we'll plan it again. I'll send you a link again so we can schedule another time. And it's strictly business. I'm no joking around. There's not going to be any joking around. I'm not gonna tease you about the fact that all your wealth in all your 25,000 doors and stuff. I'm not gonna tease you about that.
All right.
All right. Did you ever connect back up with that one client that was buying?
Oh yeah, he was looking out in
way out someplace, kind of out in the
like an hour east of Rochester, Minnesota.
Oh, that's way out, man.
Well, that's way that wasn't in my
That's not the metro area.
Yeah, I tried connecting him with an agent out there, but that person wasn't very responsive, and it's tough with a location like that.
That's and it sounded to me like he was stuck on that area. He wasn't like open.
He was.
Right. Okay. Yeah. What do you do? I mean, there's not much you can do with that.
But hey, thank you, regardless of where it is.
Dude, I'm gonna keep them coming, man. I'm gonna keep them coming. Yeah.
Yeah. If I can help you out in any way, just let me know.
I appreciate it. Hey, one other thing, real quick. One of my closest friends is a pilot for Delta.
Really?
Yeah, and he's been a pilot forever, man. And that's why his name is Roger. Roger Gale. Do you know that name? I don't know. Did you fly for Delta?
Well, I flew for it was Pinnacle at the time. So a Delta connection.
Oh, I see. Okay.
First it was Northwest Airlink and then Delta connection. So I flew the regional jets. It said Delta on the side of it.
I see. Yeah, that's
operated Pinnacle.
That's like, man, flying, that's like you have to really be a smart person to fly, it seems like, don't you? I mean,
yes and no.
I mean, that's like high level math, physics or something. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys?
No, I'm terrible, man. I'll tell you, I'm terrible.
And it's funny now. Okay, I'm going to definitely stop you this. Okay, so here you say you're terrible at math. You own all this real estate. You're a pilot, which requires physics. I mean, come on, man. Dan, you just are understated. You're an understated guy. I mean, come on.
KISS. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. All right. I'll accept that. I'll accept that. Well, hey
Yeah.
man, you have a great weekend. Get back to me so we can figure out a time to connect up with Chad, and
Yes.
we're gonna schedule another time. Okay, since this is a little bit slower time for the
Yep.
real estate. All right, cool. So we'll schedule
Anytime.
a time and get back, and I'm gonna hit you all the tough questions. So we'll get you
Let's
have to
do
be
it. We'd
prepared.
love to. We'd
All
love
right,
to.
man. Thanks,
Sounds
man. Talk
great.
to you soon. All right,
All right. Take
thanks.
care.
All right.
Thanks. Yeah.
You bet. Bye
Yep.
bye.
Bye.